Hello, hello, hi Anchen, how are you doing?
I'm getting you.
Yeah, really good. It is finally the day is here. It's kind of etched in my brain. The 20th of June, 2022. It's the Page Builder Summit 4.0. My name's Nathan Wrigley from WP Builds, and Anchen, do you want to quickly introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Anchen Roux from Simply Digital Design. And yeah, I live currently in South Africa, but we're moving to Portugal on the 12th of July. So we're very excited. After the summit, it's going to be like a week to get everything ready to go. So yeah, it's very
It's been a
exciting
very
over here.
exciting time in your household, hasn't it, over the last few
Yes,
days, getting all sorts of
definitely.
confirmation documents and things in, and obviously it butting up against the Page Builder Summit has probably caused a fair bit of stress. But we've made it. We've got over the well, we haven't got over the finish line. We've just got to the start line. But let's see if we can make the Page Builder Summit 4.0 happen. Just a few bits of housekeeping. I'm sorry to say we've got to do this at the beginning, just because it's a good idea to understand how the platform works. Depending on where you're watching this, it may be that you're logged into a different system, or you are on a particular, I don't know, platform. You might be watching this on Twitter, or you might be watching on Facebook, or perhaps YouTube, depending on where you've got this feed. But if you are in our Facebook group, and you don't want to remain anonymous, Facebook have this unique policy whereby they anonymize everybody in the comments. And if you want to get over that problem and share your avatar and username and let us know who you are, then in the link at the top in the Facebook group, in other words, in the text which accompanied this post, should be this link. It's chat.restream.io/FB. And if you click that, you'll be taken over and you'll be able to authorize in one click your willingness to say that you want to share your avatar and so on and so forth. So hopefully gets that out the way. My first question, I suppose, is if the comments are working. I actually can't see any comments coming in, but if anybody wants to take the first comment, feel free to do that. I'd be kind of curious to know where you're all at and where you're coming from. I can see there's quite a few people watching this at the moment. But if my comment system inside the platform, which is called Restream, if that's not working, then I'm sorry to say I won't be able to share any of those. But hopefully, if somebody takes the plunge and says who they are and where they are, I will share that on the screen. But it has failed me in the past, this platform. Okay, so there we go. I can see one has come through. So we've got a David. David, thank you. David from the UK. Very nice to have you with us. That's lovely. And we've also got somebody called, oh, hello, Theomir from Croatia. That's very, very nice. We've got a user from Scotland. This is what it looks like to us if you don't go to that link. It just says Facebook user, and we don't know who you are. So I'll display that one more time just so that you can get a grip on how the platform works. So if you're in the Facebook group, go to chat, maybe open up a new tab or something and go to chat.restream.io. The link is sort of right there. It's right at the bottom, chat.restream.io/FB, and that will enable us to see who you are. Of course, if you wish to remain anonymous, that's perfectly fine. Let's have a look at this one. We've got Jill, who is a Brit living in Fuerteventura. Nice to have you with us. We have somebody from Pretoria, South Africa, which is Paul Bedford. Thank you very much. You've obviously clicked that link because we can see who you are. We've got somebody called Rafa from Andalusia. I think I'm pronouncing that wrong. Is it Andalusia or something? There's a certain way of pronouncing it that my tongue cannot get around. And we've also got Jane, who's been very supportive in the past of all of our endeavours. Thank you, Jane. She says, hi, Anchen and Nathan from Northamptonshire in the UK. Maya from, GoDaddy. Nice to have you with us. Thank you. She's a regular viewer of the Monday show that we do. Somebody from Japan. Keith Eldridge is coming to us from Japan. We've got Rick. Hello, Rick. He's also somebody that comes along often to our This Week in WordPress show, which we do on a Monday. Wonderfully pronounced. Okay, thank you. Okay, I got Andalusia pretty correct. That's good to know. Howdy from Texas, Kyle Van Duzen. Hi there, Kyle. Nice to have you with us as well. South Florida, USA, another user. I could probably keep this going for some time, but I don't know how long we should keep this going for, Anchen, because we've got some actual content to deliver to you. Steve Stapleberg It says Midrand in South Africa. I confess that's a place I've not heard of before. And Andreas saying hello from Sweden. Well, isn't that lovely? We've got a whole bunch of people from, wow, pretty much all over the
all
world.
over.
We're not represented by Australia, but I wonder why that might be. Possibly falling asleep at this time of the morning. It's probably like 2 in the morning over there. Anchen, should we launch into our little list of things that we've got to do today? We want to sort of acclimatize you and get you familiar with how the summit works. If you've been to a Page Builder Summit before, the format is basically the same. There's a few little tweaks here, there, and everywhere, but very similar to the past. So hopefully you'll be very familiar with it. But if you are familiar with different online summits, we might do things a little bit differently. And so worth paying attention, I guess, and seeing how it all works this way around. So, Anchen, do you want to launch us off?
Where do we start?
Where should we start? Should we go from why we launched the summit? Should we start there?
Cool. Yeah, so we've said this before, so if you've been on before, then you might know, but for those who are new, I did a summit, and my idea with the summit was actually just to do like an online WordCamp, because there were a lot of people from Africa at that stage that couldn't go to WordCamps due to visa things, and many people were talking to me about it. And then we did, I think in 2019, I did like a online style WordCamp, and I had quite a few people from WP Elevation and people that I know from the WordPress community on. And then just after, I think, Nathan and I, we met. I think, did we meet the first time at WordCamp Europe, or
Yeah,
was
in
it
person we met for the first
in
time at
person? But I
WordCamp
think
Europe. But I
we spoke.
definitely
Yeah,
you'd been communicating in Facebook groups and things with me in the past.
yeah.
Yeah.
I was probably on the show. I think early in 2020 was. Oh no, 20. Where am I? 2019. No, that was actually okay. I'm very confused. But in any case, we met
Several
and
years ago. Yeah.
yeah, and we started talking about doing the Page Builder Summit, because both of us were like really into page builders, and yeah, at that point, before it was a bit before the block editor, so page builders were still like really the rage. Yeah, and I think that's how it all started.
Yeah, so I think it's important for me to point out at this point that basically, although on the outside it feels like I'm 50% of this enterprise, I am really not. Anchen is probably responsible for about 80% of everything that we do, and I'm just gonna show up more or less at the last minute and take half the credit, which is entirely unfair. So I would like to publicly apologise if that's the way it comes across. But Anchen really does do the work in the background to make all of this happen. So she's been connecting with the speakers and setting the website up and a whole bunch of other things. So plaudits to Anchen, and the whole thing could certainly not happen. Well, it could happen, but it would be a total and utter shambles if I was left in charge of it. So basically, if anything goes right this week, credit Anchen, and if anything goes wrong this week, just blame me, because that'll probably fit. But we've got a whole ton of stuff happening, and I'm just going to start by sharing some slides. And the first thing I suppose to say is welcome. Thanks for joining us. I'll make this little sidebar go away. There we go. Welcome to Page Builder Summit 4.0. It's a bit of a wow moment for us. I mean, we did the first one all those years ago. Now seems like a while ago, several years certainly. And who knew that we would get even to the second one? But now we're on to the fourth variant of the Page Builder Summit. So that's pretty impressive, certainly from my point of view. And one of the things which I think causes people, I think the biggest difficulty that we have is people just locating where things are all happening during the week. So there's one thing that I want to drill home right at the start, if that's all right. And that is just to say, if at any point during this week you're failing to orientate yourself and you're thinking, I'm not sure when the next thing is happening or what's coming up next, dead simple, go to pagebuildersummit.com/schedule, pagebuildersummit.com/schedule, and bookmark that possibly. And you can just keep coming to and fro from there. Speaking of the schedule, shall I show the schedule and then we can explain how all the sessions work, Anchen?
Yes, that sounds good.
Okay, all right. So what we're going to do is each morning, typically, we launch a call like this just before the day begins. But on the schedule page, you'll be able to see today's presentations, and they are as follows. I'm perfectly aware that you'll be able to read them, but nevertheless, I'm going to read them all out anyway. I'm going to just mention that we've got this thing called the Vault, and we'll come back to that in a moment. But that is now live. It has been for a little while, and it's a selection of presentations from previous summits. But we'll come back to that in a moment. You're currently watching this bit here, which is the 12 o'clock kickoff call. And then things begin properly at 1 o'clock. So all of these times that you're seeing here, they're listed as UK times just because that's where I am. And it seems to be something that people can typically orientate around. But on the schedule page, you'll see them listed in 4 different time zones. We've got Europe, well, we've got UK time, we've got East and West Coast America, and then Sydney, Australia time. And if you need to orientate yourself around that, a good website is everytimezone.com, and that enables you to see a visual representation of when all these are. But 1 o'clock, so in about 45 minutes' time, we're kicking off with Jamie Marsland. He's got a topic all about Gutenberg, full site editing, and WooCommerce. 2 o'clock, so you'll notice they're basically all in hour increments. There's a little slight caveat to that in a moment. But 2 o'clock, how to sell VIP days without proposals, packages, or promising deliverables. And that's by Sarah Maskey. We've got an Elementor Cloud website talk, which is being delivered on the screen by Jonathan Myman. 4 o'clock, using page builders for email and newsletter growth, the power of repurposing by I'm sure many people have heard of Kim Doyle before, but Kim Doyle's going to be on at 4. 5 o'clock, simplicity with email automation, Jason Resnick. And then you'll see slightly unusually, and I think I'm right, Anchen, in saying this is the only time in the entire summit where there's a little bit of a gap. Won't bore you with why there's a gap, but there was a sort of a reason for it, which we won't need to explain. But you've got an hour off there, so you'll notice there's no 6 o'clock one. But there is a 7 o'clock one, creating effective WooCommerce sites with Cadence block templates. And that's from the founder of Cadence, Ben Rittner. So there's a whole load of stuff. How many is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 presentations that are happening today. Anchen, do you want to mention what the Vault is? Because that's now live and people can access that at the moment.
Yeah, so the Vault's just the presentations from previous summits. I think we've got 3 from last summit, and then 1 from the very first summit, and I think 1 from version number 2. And they will be available throughout the summit. So they went live at 11, and they will actually be live until, I think I made it Sunday night, like 12 UK time. So the whole of the week it will be available. So yeah, we just some added presentations that you can watch throughout the summit.
Yeah, so this is just 6 presentations. We just handpicked 6, which received. They're just, people talked about them to me and Anchen and said how much they'd enjoyed these 6 in particular. And so we picked those ones out. And like Anchen says, they're going to be available from now. They're already there. You can start watching those now if you wish. And going to be available for the whole week. And that probably should lead us into the normal speakers. Because Anchen, we've got the schedule there. Do you want to explain how the whole process works? How the actual getting to the presentations and picking that you want to see and all of that, and how you actually make sure that you don't end up with the 404 page and things like that.
Okay, so yeah, the presentations will only go live at the scheduled time. So before that, you'll see like a coming soon page. So just keep on refreshing because it should go, I think on the hour, it will actually go live. It gets published, and then you'll be able to find it. And I think there's basically, I think you mentioned the schedule page, but we'll also send out an email about an hour or so before the day starts. And it will also be in the Facebook group. There will be like a post. So there will be, the link should be accessible somewhere. So.
Okay. So, so that may be a point of misunderstanding for some people. So basically, if you go to a page prior to its allotted time, there's going to be nothing there. There literally won't be a page, it will soon. And that might feel a bit strange, like you might be expecting there to be a page that, with the video not quite ready to go. No, we've just decided to schedule the posts. So the best bet is to come back on the hour or a couple of minutes after and click refresh, and all things being equal, it should then begin. The presentations themselves, we've been having submissions from the presenters. That is to say, quite often if you go to a summit, you may see a live version of a presentation. So the person is literally doing it live. We've taken a different approach, and the approach is that we want the presentations to all be pre-recorded. Few reasons for that. Probably the most straightforward one is that they get to do the best job of rehearsing it and recording it and getting it exactly right, so that there's as few errors as possible, if you know what I mean, because it's very easy when you're under pressure doing something live like we are now, to sort of go off message and get lost in the weeds a little bit. So they're all pre-recorded. So you'll go to the page at the right time. There'll be a video. My recommendation would be that you immediately, as soon as you get in, click play, and all things being equal, the presenters themselves, so Jamie Marsland at 1:00 and Sarah at 2:00 and so on, they should be available to answer any questions that you have in the chat for the first hour. That's the obligation that we've asked, and outside of that first hour, it's kind of up to them if they want to stick around or not. But if you want to get your questions answered, or if there's anything that comes up, then please go during the first hour. Now, because it's not live and people may be coming in at different times, like you may be finishing off a previous presentation and you might drift in 10 minutes later, there's no way of us making sure that everybody's watching the same exact thing at the same exact time. So if you do have a question, a couple of recommendations would be that you are very specific in what that question is. So, if you saw something at the 15th minute about a particular subject, you could easily add that into your question to help the presenter get some orientation as to which bit you were talking about. If you just write, "Can you explain more?" and you're on the 20th minute, the chances are the person won't know exactly what you're talking about. So be very specific. Another good thing to do is there's a little pop-out button on the chat. And I recommend just, if you've got a big enough screen, just as soon as you get in, click play, pop out the chat, and you can enlarge the chat and you can see the whole thread going up and down and so on and so forth. So that's another recommendation. And in the past, always at the beginning of the summit, people always say the chat widget makes a little noise, and it does. You get this little sort of sound every time a new comment comes in, but you can easily silence that. You'll notice just beneath the chat is a little sort of icon. It's a bit like a speaker crossed out sort of thing. And that's quite a nice thing to, if you're getting infuriated by the little pops, then you can click that little button, and that's quite helpful. I think in terms of the presentations, Anchen, we've licked that one. Do you think we've covered everything, or have we missed anything out?
Just something that's different this year is that we're actually keeping up the presentations for 48 hours instead of just 24. So you'll have 48 hours to watch each of the presentations. We just thought it's giving a little bit more exposure to each of the speakers, giving them time to click on their promo link and things like that. So that's a bit of a change.
Yeah, that's a really good point, actually, and something new to this summit. Previously, if you watched the presentations but you missed, let's say you were watching one, you were too busy, I don't know, you might be out doing the shopping or whatever, and you come back, there is a 24-hour window in which you can see it, and we've modified that this year, so it's now a 48-hour window, so we've doubled the amount of time each presentation is available. However, Anchen, we do have a facility, should you wish to sort of take it at your own pace, and you want access to everything, regardless of how much you'll be able to show up during the course of this week. Do you want to talk about the Power Pack, which you may have heard of, you may not have done? What's that about, and how does that work?
Yeah, so that's just, I'm pretty sure you've heard of it by now. So it's just the upgrade if you do want to pay for it and have it forever. So it's all the sessions. We also have worksheets for each of the presentations. And then there's also a lot of bonuses. We had quite a few nice bonuses submitted by the speakers. So that's, like basically one or two of the bonuses is already worth the price. If you haven't been on that page, there's like a fast action offer for $47. But that's like 30 minutes and then that's gone. And then the price of $97 will actually expire once the summit starts. I think it's 38 minutes left. So if you haven't bought the power pack yet and you're thinking of doing it, now would be a good time because whenever 1 o'clock,
Yeah, 38 minutes
you
sounds
get
about right. That's yeah.
it will
I've had some
expire.
very nice comments about the Power Pack this year. Actually, I've had a few people who've contacted me and said,
Okay, cool.
it's a really, really, really good bundle of things. There's obviously, depending on who you are and what kind of things you're into and what knowledge you want to gain out of the summit, some things are going to be great for you, but might not be for the person that sat next to you. And so it's very varied. There's a whole load of stuff in there. But I've had 2 or 3 emails from different people saying that they like different content, but nevertheless, there's a whole depth and range to them. So yeah, 38 more minutes if you want to get it cheaply. The price is going to go up. So what's the best way to make that happen, Anchen? Where should we direct people? What URL?
There is, must I add I'll add it in the comments after the
Okay.
URL. It's like
Or
a
if you add
long
it into
one.
the private chat, I'll share it as a comment
Okay,
on the
I'll
screen
do
in a
that.
moment. We've got a little private chat in here. Okay, so yeah, that's perfect. We've got a Facebook user in here. We don't know who you are, but this is exactly the kind of scenario where the Page Builder Power Pack would be really worthwhile. So this person says, my attendance will be sporadic. And then they say, my dad is having surgery today. I'm sorry to hear that. I hope it goes well. And I'm waiting around at the hospital. So just to reiterate, you've got 48 hours if you manage to get out the hospital and get back to normal life. Then you've got 48 hours after the moment the presentation goes live. So if one begins at 12 o'clock today, it'll stop working at 12 o'clock on Wednesday and so on. But if you really are going to be hit and miss and there's things that you simply can't avoid, you've probably got work that you need to be getting on with and so on, then the Power Pack is the best way to do that. And I will put it on the screen quickly now. There we go. Let's share that. So there we go. It's pagebuildersummit.com / and all of this is hyphenated. Anybody who happens to be listening to this, it's Page Builder Power Pack Pass Early Bird. So pagebuildersummit.com / Page Builder Power Pack Pass Early Bird, and all hyphenated. So go. I'll leave that on the screen actually because that makes perfect sense. Okay, so we've mentioned the Vault speakers, we've mentioned the Power Pack and all of that kind of thing. I suppose it would be apropos to give a big hand and a big thanks to the speakers themselves. Now, forgive me, I'm not going to go through and mention everybody one at a time because the list is just too big. But what you can see on the screen is everybody who is doing a presentation this year. There's 2 in a minute that I'm going to show you that don't fall under this umbrella. But there they all are. I mean, like I say, it's a massive, massive thanks to our speakers. It's an incredible list, incredibly talented. And as always at the Page Builder Summit, we've got a whole ton of different topics. We've got really quite into the weeds of it, things like the Builderius talk and so on. We've got things about CSS, got general tips and tricks. We've got marketing. We've got, like I said, design and all of those kind of things. So it really is a whole range of different things. And Anchen, I know that you set up, I don't know if you want to mention it now, you set up a little tool, a little thing that people can use if they want to sort of discover a little bit about what kind of things they might like to see. Is that still available?
Yes, it's the quiz. So I will add a link afterwards as well.
Okay.
But it's just a fun little quiz asking you about your goals for the summit, and then it prescribes or whatever a few sessions that aligns with that goal.
Yeah.
It's just Page Builder quiz. So I'll get that.
Okay. Well, if you get the URL, I'll stick that on the screen as well. But basically, Anchen, as I said, doing 80% of the work here. Anchen's put together a little quiz, which if you follow the questions, it'll give you some guidance as to the things that may interest you this time around. But I would like to, real big applause to all of the speakers. Thank you so much for getting everything in and presenting it to us in such a nice way. You're going to love it. Got to say, not only is the range of topics really broad, but the range of lengths is quite broad as well. Some of them go right up to sort of 50 minutes. Some of them are a little bit shorter. I think some of them are 15 or so minutes long. But either way, if you drop in, I would really appreciate it. If you come in that first hour and the presenter is there, I would really appreciate it if you can get some questions lined up, or at the very least, when you finished watching it, maybe just offer your thanks. Just one word or two words. Thank you very much. Really enjoyed that, or something. I can say wholeheartedly that the presenters who get that kind of feedback, they come out of this whole experience feeling a whole lot better, and feel that the whole enterprise was excellent for them. So if you fancy going in during the talk, and when they're there, say a great big thank you. We'd really appreciate that. So again, my appreciation to all of those fabulous people that you can see on the screen. You can find them all on the schedule, obviously. And there's a couple of different ones, because we obviously have sponsors, and I'll get onto those in a moment. We've got a couple of sponsored sessions this week. One is later today. It's going to be Jonathan Myman. I mentioned him earlier. It's going to be at 3:00, and that's all about the Elementor Cloud platform. The talk's called Elementor Cloud website. And then we've got one from the guys over at GoDaddy Pro. This is Justin Neely. He was on last time talking about how to use the Hub, which is their managed WordPress platform, to streamline your design workflow. So that's going to be on Thursday, 23rd of June at 5 p.m. Again, on the schedule. But I'd like to thank those two people as well. And we've done the Vault speakers. So, Anchen, if it's okay with you, shall I move on to our sponsors for this time around?
Yeah, there's just one thing that I still wanted to mention, that the networking session. So that's with one of the Page Builder Power Pack add-ons or value adds or whatever. And so, but you'll see that on the schedule. We've got, I think, 3, or do we have 4? I had 4 different.
I've forgotten how many we've got, but I can quickly have a look onto our little schedule page.
I think we added an extra one in.
Yeah, we've got 4. So we've got one on tomorrow at 2 p.m. UK time. That's our first one. Then we've got one on Wednesday, same time. So that's 2 p.m. And then we've got one later in the day at 8:00. So that's a late night one for us. But if you're in North America, it's probably a bit more suitable. And then we've got a 6:00 one, 6 p.m. UK time on Thursday, the 23rd. So there are one tomorrow, 2 Wednesday, and then one on Thursday. Yeah. Do you want to say how you find out about those? Because we keep that. We don't distribute the URLs for that in quite the same way, do we?
Yeah, we just send an email. So if you haven't been receiving emails for anything, like I have had some people saying they're not getting the emails, and we only send an email with that link. So please just reach out to me if you are not getting those links. It's the same link for all 4 sessions. So once you have it, it will be good. And that, yeah, it's just it's very, very informal. We just meet on Zoom and we just chat about whatever's happening in the summit and just share some takeaways and whatever. just trying to do the in-person thing online.
It's really nice, actually. I remember when Anchen, right back in the first summit, proposed it to me. I was a bit skeptical and a bit nervous, and I was completely wrong. It was really good. So we're using Zoom again this year, are we, Anchen?
Yes.
Yeah. So you'll get a Zoom link if you're registered to get the emails, and we just rock up and just have a bit of a natter. It is genuinely really informal. If you've got a burning question and you want to ask other people in that call, then that's a great place to do it. But also, if you just want to hang out and have a coffee and just chat, then that's all good as well. So 4 of those happening this week. Anything else before I delve into our sponsors?
No, I think that's it.
No? Okay. So we're very lucky to be able to put these summits on. I mean, it really is a real privilege to be able to reach out to you guys and help, hopefully, with some content this week around page builders and WordPress websites. But as you may well understand, these kind of events, they simply don't happen without the assistance of sponsorship. The sponsors represent a really excellent on-road for things like this to happen. They sort of justify the whole purpose right at the outset. And we've had some incredible sponsors over the past 3 summits, and the same would be true this way. And I'm going to mention them one at a time, if that's all right with you. The first one I want to mention would be GoDaddy Pro. We've got 3 gold sponsors this year, and GoDaddy Pro is one of them. You can tweet them at GoDaddy Pro, and I'd really appreciate it if you did. Also, if you go to any page on the Page Builder Summit website from now on, you'll see a sponsors link right at the top. Well, each of those guys have got a Page Builder Summit special page that they've thrown together for us. And in some cases, there might be some offers lurking in there. So it might be worth going, hanging out. But certainly, I'd appreciate it if you spent a little bit of time looking around those pages. GoDaddy Pro, though, is our first one. GoDaddy Pro want me to say this. Our managed WordPress e-commerce platform with WooCommerce gives you the freedom to sell anything, anywhere online, from physical products to digital downloads, services, and subscriptions. Choose from thousands of free, exclusive WooCommerce storefront extensions included in our plan. So great big thanks. Firstly, go to GoDaddy Pro. Thank you for helping us put this event on. Really appreciate it. Next up, we've got Elementor, which is on Twitter at Elementor. But do notice that there's no E in the middle. They've obviously managed to snag the name without the E. So it's Elementor. You might want to go to them as well and say thank you. Their page is in the list. Elementor is offering an exclusive promotion at the Page Builder Summit where event attendees will enjoy 20% off the Elementor Cloud website between the dates of, well, the summit, the 20th to the 24th of June for summit attendees. If you're interested in that, you could obviously see Jonathan Myman's talk later today, see what it's all about. And then there's a coupon code, which you can see there. You might want to screenshot that quickly. Page_builder_summit_2022. So it's Page Builder Summit 2022 with the underscore. So again, thank you, Elementor, for helping us put things on. 20i, which is a hosting company. Their Twitter is hosted by 20i, and you can see the URL for their sponsor page. Same things apply. 20i are a high-performance WordPress hosting company for every occasion. Join 600,000 plus agencies, freelancers, businesses, and side hustlers for unmatched speed, reliability, and 24/7 expert support. And again, here comes an offer. They're offering 50% off for Page Builder Summit attendees. And there's a URL that you can visit there. It's 20i.com/offer/page-builder-summit. So 20i.com/offer/page builder summit. And that's going to get you 50% off. Fabulous deal. So that was our gold level sponsors. And then we've got 3 silver sponsors as well. Bertha AI is the first of those. And you can see their Twitter handle. It's Bertha AI with an underscore at the end. Their URL is just there, as you might expect. It's the same as all the others, /sponsors/Bertha.ai. And what do? Well, Bertha is an AI-based writing assistant that has been trained on hundreds of billions of lines of content to help you write better content on your WordPress website. It's quite interesting. One of the talks actually this time around, although it's not a talk about Bertha AI, they actually, towards the end, they implement it. Completely, there was no sort of quid pro quo. They just decided to use it. And I know that guys at Bertha were delighted to see somebody using it in one of the talks, which is really nice. Beaver Builder is another one of our silver sponsors. Their Twitter handle, Beaver Builder, and there's their URL. I'm sure you've heard of Beaver Builder before. Beaver Builder is all about awesome software, great support, and a helpful community. Beaver Builder is the WordPress page builder you can trust with your business. Our products free up your time and unleash your creativity. Again, once more, go to their page, check them out, give them some love. And the last of our silver sponsors is a company called InMotion Hosting, whose Twitter handle is exactly that, InMotion Hosting, all as one word. InMotion Hosting's new managed WordPress hosting is an integrated WordPress website creation, optimization, and management system. This SaaS, or software as a service, product supports the complete WordPress lifecycle of building, testing, deploying, managing, and updating your WordPress websites. So again, last of our silver sponsors, please go and give them some love. They're the 6 companies that I've featured so far who have a page, and please go and visit those. These next 4 are our bronze sponsors, and they don't have a page, but we are very appreciative of their support and helping us put on the summit. Stackable, WP Stackable is their Twitter handle, and Stackable is an all-in-one solution for creating stunning websites with the WordPress editor, already trusted by 100,000 plus websites that have the confidence to easily design the fastest websites using a new page building experience for WordPress, aka Gutenberg. So thank you, Stackable. And One Day Websites, who have the Twitter handle at GetBusyBusy. The One Day methodology is all about tools, training, and tactics to accelerate your web design projects. Our mission is to revolutionize the way creatives work in order to grow profits and happiness for freelancers, agencies, and our clients. Check out our online courses, innovative creative tools, certification programs, and more. And last, but by no means least, we have Yoast. I'm sure everybody's heard of Yoast, their Twitter handle at Yoast, Yoast. Having a website means you have something to share with the world. Using Yoast SEO optimizes WordPress for SEO. It also helps you optimize your writing for your audience. This means what you're sharing can now be found and read. That's why every site needs Yoast SEO. Thank you, Yoast. And finally, WS Form, which is a form solution for WordPress, their Twitter handle, WS_form. Well, WS Form is a powerful contact form building plugin for WordPress. Create professional, mobile-friendly, accessible contact forms using our unique no-code development environment. And so there we have it. We have our, what have we got? 3, 6. We got our 10 sponsors this time around. Anchen, is that it? Have we got through everything?
I think the only thing that I still wanted to mention is the bingo. So as all the other summits before, we have bingo and we have prizes every day. And we received a lot of really nice prizes from our sponsors and speakers. And so for today, we've got a $25 Amazon voucher. We've got a Page Builder Power Pack pass. And if you already bought one, we'll refund you. And then we've got a summer t-shirt. And then from Martin and Lindsay, we have a blog post template pack.
So the bingo is just just a bit of fun. You've basically got to go and, I guess the easiest way is to print off the form or something like that, or somehow get it on a screen. And each day we're asking you to try and achieve a whole multitude of tasks. So it's as simple as, I know I placed a comment in one of the presentations, or I attended 2 presentations today. I can't remember exactly what all the criteria are, but they're just a bit of fun. They're not difficult to do. And the idea is that, if you bring us your card and you photograph it and show it in the Facebook group, we'll put you in the draw, and hopefully, fingers crossed, you'll win one of these prizes. $25 Amazon voucher. We'll refund a power pack if you've already bought it, or we'll just give you one if you haven't. Take Page Builder Summit t-shirt. What more is there in life than such a t-shirt? So that's good. And also a blog post template pack, which is from Martin and Lindsay, who you will see at some point during the summit. And very helpfully, Anchen has provided me with the URL for that. So let me just pop that onto the screen. There we go. Pagebuildersummit.com. Guess what? Well, what else would it be? /bingo. Pagebuildersummit.com/bingo. I will leave the early bird pass URL on there. But I think that's it, isn't it, Anchen, more or less?
Yeah, so I just wanted to say about the bingo again, still, that there will be like a dedicated post every day. So it will normally be like after the day completed, or like, more or less. And then so there will be a day 1 post, and you can then just post your card underneath that or in that thread, and then you'll be enrolled or whatever the right word is.
That's fine.
For that day's prizes.
Okay, so I think more or less that's it. I mean, all I'm going to say is that the whole event properly, this is the longest one we've ever done. Actually, we've never gone on for 40 minutes. In 20 minutes time, we'll be kicking things off with Jamie Marsland. So go and check out the schedule, and you can click on the links there. Just a couple things before we go, because there's some nice people writing some nice comments in here. I don't know who you are, but somebody said that they bought the upgrade, the power pack, the URL you'll see again in a minute. It's Mark from Leeds. There you go. He bought it last year too, and he's recommending it. So thank you for that. That's really nice to hear. Somebody in the real world making use of it. Peter Ingersoll from Connecticut, USA. Hi there, Peter. Somebody here wants the t-shirt. Okay, get on the bingo. Pagebuildersummit.com/bingo. Let the competition start. Looks like you really want it. And it looks like, what does it say? The Facebook chat shows up in the YouTube chat, but not the other way around. Okay. No, there's no preferential thing there, Peter. It is purely it'll be some sort of error on the platform. I think the integration of chat between YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and all those things, I think they must change it all the time. So I think Restream, which is the platform that we're using, which answers a question in the chat. Somebody wanted to know what we're using. It's Restream. I think they're just constantly fighting fire to make it work, and then the platforms break it, and then they've got to make it work. So we may just be suffering a little bit of that. But there we go. Looks like everybody's had their commentary. I'm going to put the last little caption back up, which is the Power Pack one, pagebuildersummit.com, Page Builder Power Pack. Pass, early bird, and go and make use of that if you want to. So, Anchen, it all begins.
Yeah.
Feel like a line from Hollywood. It's one of those things where a big battle is about to commence or something. And so it begins. 35 plus, can't remember the exact number, presenters this week. Go and enjoy it. Have a really nice time. And thank you, Anchen, for all of your dedication and hard
for you.
work.
I wanted to say earlier, you do the things that I really don't want to do. So doesn't matter that I do.
Yeah, what the sleeping and the sort of lying around and not really doing a lot. Yeah, I'm happy to do those. Yeah. But yeah, we'll see you in the summit. Get yourself signed up, join the networking sessions, have a cracking time. If anything goes wrong, like I said, blame me. If it works out perfectly, it's over there. Anchen is responsible. So see you later, guys. Have a lovely summit.